Hey, what's up everyone? It's Kenneth Mackenzie here, coming to you from Johannesburg, South Africa. We've been in lockdown for a few weeks now for this COVID situation that we're going through. It's the 18th of April and it's a Saturday. So yeah, shout out to everyone that's working on a Saturday. The reason for my video is I'd really like to help you today and see if I can drop some wisdom here that can make your lives easier. So I chat to a lot of business owners every single day during the week, and the predominant conversation is cash flow. And the problem is, managing your cash flow as a business owner, and also the amount of fear that the cash flow problem has instilled in most people. And I hear, when I talk to people, I can almost hear that some of the guys are paralyzed with fear, and I'd really like to see if I can add some value to your life and maybe make your life a bit easier today. So I've built this very, very simple, easy to use cash flow template, cash flow forecast template. This is not the complex ones that we usually use with multiple sheets and formulas upon formulas. None of that. This is like the easy to use 10-minute, not even a 10-minute exercise that will give you a clear understanding of where your finances, what your finances are going to look like in the next few days, next few months. So I'd really like you to work through this with me. This is not a long video, and it's going to break down each component in your cash flow, and the objective is for you to have a look and see at which point you are going to have a cash flow problem. And when you identify that, then you can figure out how you're going to approach that problem. So let's jump right in it. Like I said, this is a very, very simple template that I've set up for everyone there that you might be working at home, from home. Well, everyone's working from home now. In fact, you might just hear my baby boy running around here. So I've done this one for ABC Business. This is an example that I'm using. It's a cash flow forecast. And here you put in the date that you're using the forecast. Put in the 1st of April 2020. Yes, I know the 1st of April is past already. This is just for the exercise. Of course, you can put in the day that you're actually doing the forecast. So if you're doing the forecast on the 18th, then you put in the 18th as the date, okay? And you use the 18th figures, right? So if you have a look at this first table here, I want you to input all of the data into the yellow, into the cells that I've made yellow. Those are the cells that you can touch. The other cells you can leave, right? They're already calc. In this first list here, we have all of the business bank accounts. So you can here we've got 2 FNB accounts, 2 ABSA accounts, and I just identify them always by saying ending and then the number that the account ends with. Just gives me a quick on a quick view and understanding of which bank account I'm working with. Here you put in your type. Right, this is just informational and for a quick overview. And of course your overdraft limits that you have on each of these accounts. If you're in another country, obviously you'll use other banks. And then, so you put in your overdraft limits here. And then you put in your bank balance as at the date that you are doing this forecast, right? After you've put in your bank balances, here we can see, for example, we're about 15,468 in the red on this account. Here we've got about 15 grand saved, 27,468 in the red, and here we've got about 4 grand saved on the credit card. So this counts the available cash, right? And it gives you a total of 152,160 rand or dollars, whatever forex you're working with, available, right? That's perfect. Now we know how much cash we have available at this moment on the 1st of April. Then, so this is step 1. I should actually just put in here like step 1, complete All right, that would that would obviously help a lot more. So let's do that. Let's do that. Cool. Step 1. Right. Then, step 2, we want to go on here to these two tables that I've made for April and May. Maybe I should just put here. Now, step 2 and step 3 is the action that you're going to use to complete these two tables, right? The reason why you're completing these two tables is you're listing all of your business expenses here. These will be your monthly business expenses and they total, your ad hoc expenses and they total, and your debit orders and they total. So make sure that all of them total. You've listed them here in April and in May, right? And of course, you're going to go through each business expense here and make sure that you verify these figures with either a statement or figure that you know you must pay, right? This is what you want to be doing. You just want to make sure that the amounts that you're putting in are the real amounts. These are not amounts that you are sucking out of the air. These are actual amounts, right? So after you've done that, then you can head on back to your cash flow forecast. Right, so we already know now we have 150 to 160 available in cash for ABC Business. That's perfect. Now we've also already listed and verified our business expenses here for April and for May. Now we head on back here to our cash flow plan, right? So let's have a look at this. We have ad hoc expenses which we're paying at the beginning of April. That 2940 already populates from our table where we've calculated our ad hoc expenses. Then we're going to have customer receipts. Now our customer receipts, this is very important. This is cash that we need to receive to keep on trading. In layman's terms, it's all of the invoices that you've raised and sent to your clients, and they have not paid these invoices yet, and it's due for payment. You need to get on the phone, ring those guys, have a discussion with them around when they are looking to pay this, and get some sort of a promise to pay or commitment. This is very key for the cash flow because it gives you a realistic figure to use in your cash flow forecast. And ideally, we want all of these figures verified. So you've gone through through this process of calling all your clients. You've grouped together the amounts of money that will be coming in from the clients and on which dates they will be coming in. And you just go ahead and you insert it here. So I've got on the 7th of April, we have around 11 grand coming in. On the 12th of April, we have around 14 grand. On the 16th, we have around 1.5. And on the 21st, we have around 79 grand. Now I know on which dates more or less monies are going to be coming in, right? Ideally, when a client gives you a promise to pay, they also know that you've contacted them and you've asked them for payment, so they know that you are expecting payment on that day. And I wouldn't say it puts pressure on them, but it does give them a heads up to make the payment on the day that they promise to pay. Okay, this is just a very effective way of collecting your debt. Now, come the 25th, we have business expenses to pay, we have staff salaries to pay, we have commitments, right? So we're going to slot in our business supplies to pay via EFT. That obviously we get from our table here. Here we've got our business expenses that we're paying. That already populates here. Then we're going to input our staff salaries, right? But this is the actual net amount that you are transferring to your staff from your business account to their account. This is for the payment for the work that they've done. That you input here, but the net amount, right? If you're the owner of the business, let's say ABC Business, the owner wants to take a drawing to get him through the next 2-3 months. We slot that in there. And then we have more customers paying us between the 25th and the 29th. So we put in the 29th here. There's about 18 grand coming in. We verified it. Perfect. We're happy to put that in. If you're registered for sales tax or value-added tax, then You put the amount in if you need to pay it at month end. In this case, we're paying the value-added tax. And then the EMP, or the employees tax, we're also paying at the end of the month, and we're slotting that in. Remember, all of the yellow cells are the actual cells that we need to input to change the figures. The white ones are fine, they're populating from the tables to the right. And at the end of the month, we on the 30th, or on the last day of the month, we're going to have debit orders running off our business account. That we'll get from the debit orders that we've listed below. Right, we have the 16790 here. So this is great. Now we can see more or less how much cash our business is going to have available or access to come the end of April, after all of our commitments have been paid. Right, we've paid our staff, we've paid the sales tax, we've paid the employees tax, we've paid the business expenses, and we've paid the debit orders. This is awesome. And we still have some cash available. Perfect. So what are we going to do for May? The exact same exercise. We go and have a look at our ad hoc expenses, and we list them. Luckily, we've already listed them here, so we're good. Then we go and we call each of our clients, and we ask them for promise to pay dates, and we list them in here. Then we go to our table, make sure that our business suppliers, we listed them correctly, right? Because that figure is just going to populate here. We input our staff salary amount. If the owner's taking a drawings, we input that, and then the amount that the customers are going to be paying us between the 25th and the end of the month. If we have VAT to pay, you slot it in. Otherwise, you just leave the description there just as a reminder, because you'll probably be paying next month if you're not paying this month. And your employees tax amount you slot in there. And of course, your debit orders. Now, if we have a look at this, we can see we've got the 152 grand available. We've got all of these transactions that we've had to do to keep the doors open and the business going. But at around the 25th, we are going to be about 7 grand short if we want to make all of our commitments on the 25th. Can you see how it very quickly identifies more or less that on a timeline, the date that you're going to be short on cash and the amount, right? So such a simple template like this all of a sudden gives you so much information and a clear-cut view on what's happening for the next 2 months cash-wise in your business. So what you want to do now, firstly, we've identified the date and we've identified the amount that we're short. Now we can go and say, right, we know that around the 28th, we're going to get about 21 grand in. Let's call some of those customers and see if they are willing to pay before the 25th. See, the 25th we have expenses, so pay before the 25th at around the 22nd. See if we can get about 7 grand's worth of customers paying earlier. If that happens, well, then we sort it. Then we're not going to have a problem here. But if we can't get anyone to pay earlier, then we have an option. We can either go to the bank, ask for an overdraft or an extension on a revolving loan or bridging finance or any of those avenues. Or if you have a government grant or government business loans available now during the COVID period, see if you can do an application and get some of the cash. The key thing to remember here is that you've identified the date and you've identified the amount that you're going to be short. And that's, it doesn't get much clearer than that. Now, come end of the month, we're going to see, oh, but hang on, we're still going to be short here, right? And we're going to be short with a lot more. So we know that on the 25th, we're going to have a problem, and at month end. So we know now, again, the dates and the amounts that we're going to be short on. Now you can actually go and list your options. Your options might be going to your clients that might be sitting on 30 days after statement, which is effectively almost 60 days. You can go and contact them and ask them to pay earlier, maybe give them a discount. Or you can go to your financial institutions, or if you have some cash in your personal capacity, put in a loan into the business, but you have options. Can you see how easy this tool is to use? It takes you, this is a 10-minute exercise to do. And this is the type of template and cash flow system that you can micromanage. And all of a sudden, you've got 2 or 3 months worth of data here. And it just gives you that peace of heart that it's one less thing to worry about, because you know what's going to happen in your business as far as possible. Some guys know exactly what the debit orders will be for the next 12 months. Usually it doesn't change. You know what your staff complement is going to look like, so what that figure will be. And your business expenses doesn't really change. And if it's linked to your sales, then obviously you can just adjust that. So you can go and you can do 6 months worth of forecasting here, and I promise you'll be more or less within 4 or 5 days you'll be correct on the balance, on the money available, on the cash available. So try this. It's going to eliminate a lot of the fear that you have at the moment. And if you're using it for your personal side, then you can just adjust the figures, but the concept stays the same. So use this template. I'll drop it in a link below. Go ahead, download it, and make it your own. This template has really given a lot of clarity to a lot of my clients. So we use it in our own business for our clients, and it also gives you a bird's eye view, and this is really a good way to manage your cash flow. Hope this helps you. You can drop me a comment or just drop me a DM if you need our team, if you need me to help you set this up. Let me know, and we'd love to help. All right, guys, I'll chat to you soon.